My research suggests that the research around that has been greatly skewed and greatly misinterpreted in order to create the narrative that red meat causes cancer and heart disease. And in fact, the first sort of jolt in recent years to that scaremongering belief came from the Annals of Internal Medicine, which produced 5 studies back in 2019, which more or less exonerated red meat and even processed meat, did not find enough reason and enough quality research showing harm in order to recommend that we consume less. And that caused a huge uproar. Of course, the plant-based camp didn't want to believe that. And it became much disputed for a good 2 years running after that those studies came out. But then something was published just the other day, a study in, I forget what the journal was, Journal of Preventative Cardiology or Clinical Nutrition. Forgive me, I can't remember. And again, that was a team of researchers who looked at 32 previous meta-analyses and regressive analyses and some RCTs. And again, they concluded that a lot of the research had been exaggerated. So we do have evidence that the evidence against meat is poor, but it's taking a very long time for that to work its way through the biases. I mean, the sort of the super tanker that is the whole fear of red meat and disease theory is very hard to turn around. It's going to take some time. And it is not helped by research such as came out fairly recently, the 2019 Global Burden of Disease report. So GBD report, it comes out every 2 years. It's very influential. It's used to create public policy. It's used for all kinds of things, and it's widely cited. And the 2019 report increased the risk of eating red meat by 36-fold over the 2017 report, which that in itself was an extraordinary jump. And of course, some scientists caught on to this, including Alice Stanton, Frederick Leroy, Chris Elliott, a couple of others here in the UK. And they filed a complaint and a challenge. And although their paper was not published, their challenge, it was admitted that there were some errors in those calculations, that they were not evidence-based, and that it was not right to portray red meat consumption in that light. And I think the GBD report itself concluded that people should eat no red meat at all for their health, none. And then they admitted that was incorrect. That's not right. And they agreed to correct that going forward. Now, the interesting thing is even the World Cancer Research Fund found the GBD conclusion to be incorrect. So the Cancer Research Fund, who should be most concerned about the impact that any food has on cancer, they themselves said that the risk of eating red meat had been grossly overstated, and that the risk was people would give up eating red meat and miss out on all the nutrients as a consequence. So I think that's a pretty damning episode, really. And although the Lancet that publishes the GBD report, they've agreed to correct the error next time, the problem is the horse has already bolted. That report has been cited 800 times at least. I noticed that it was being used as the basis of a consumer-facing longevity calculator. So you could plug your diet in and get a recommendation for how to change it to live longer. And the recommendation on red meat in that calculator comes from the Global Burden of Disease report. So it's already feeding through in the commercial world and consumer-facing applications, and that's why it's terrifying. That's why it's so impactful when bad research gets out there and influences our decisions.
Thanks for watching the Radical Health Rebel YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to share with your friends and family or share via your social media. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon to receive notifications of new video clips from the podcast. And if you want to watch the full episode, completely ad-free, plus premium content, and join the Radical Health Rebel Patreon community, head on over to the Radical Health Rebel Patreon channel at www.patreon.com/Radical Health Rebel. Thanks again for watching.